The story begins not at the spark of a joyful connection but in a place of tension, a spa retreat in Napa Valley, where two longtime friends are trying to save their relationship. The setting is quiet and luxurious, but under the calm surface is unease. Anne and Aminatou have grown apart, not through a single betrayal or explosive fight, but through distance, miscommunication, and emotional exhaustion. This opening scene is not glamorous but real, and it sets the stage for a book that treats friendship with the gravity and complexity it deserves. Their friendship began in a flurry of chemistry. They met at a party and immediately clicked, both whip-smart, ambitious women who shared a love of pop culture and politics. It felt effortless at first. That friendship spark, so rarely talked about outside of romantic contexts, is honored here. But while romantic love has clear cultural scripts to follow, friendship has far fewer roadmaps. The early days were marked by frequent contact, constant texting, late-night phone calls, and a sense that they were building something meaningful, though they didn't yet know how deep it would go. As their lives began to evolve, and moved to Los Angeles, Aminatou faced a serious health crisis, and both pursued ambitious careers. They found themselves navigating how to sustain closeness through change. They relied on digital tools, texts, voice memos, and weekly podcast recordings, but soon realized that even constant communication can mask emotional drift. It's not enough to just talk, you have to connect. And sometimes, real connection requires saying hard things out loud. At the heart of the book is the concept of a big friendship, a bond as important and consuming as a romantic relationship. These friendships shape our lives, identities, and sense of stability. But they're rarely treated with the same care or societal importance. The authors argue this imbalance has led to neglect. People assume friendships should be easy, frictionless, and optional. But in truth, the deepest friendships are forged through vulnerability, maintenance, and mutual choice. One of the most powerful sections of the book comes when Aminatou is diagnosed with endometrial cancer. She initially tries to handle it on her own, not wanting to burden anyone. But Anne is hurt by the distance and the secrecy. The situation forces a reckoning between them. Illness becomes a metaphor for what happens when emotional honesty is delayed, things fester. Their friendship survives, but not without scars. They learn that showing up sometimes means letting someone know you need them, even when it's uncomfortable. And then Aminatou develop a philosophy they call shine theory, the belief that when you help your friends shine, you shine too. It's a rejection of competition and insecurity. They champion the idea that friendship can be a place of power and support, where success is shared rather than threatened. This idea has helped shape their careers and their identities, but it also adds pressure. Can a friendship be both emotionally intimate and publicly performative? This tension runs throughout the narrative. As they become more visible, hosting a popular podcast, appearing on panels, and becoming known for their feminist values, their private relationship starts to struggle. They admit to avoiding tough conversations and letting resentment simmer. The podcast becomes both a lifeline and a source of strain, forcing them to communicate regularly but also to perform friendship for an audience. They begin to wonder, how do you protect a friendship that's also a brand? Eventually, they hit what they call the stretch. This is a period in any long-term friendship when one or both people must stretch, emotionally, logistically, spiritually, to keep the relationship alive. It's not always balanced, and it doesn't always feel good. But stretching means you're investing. You're still choosing each other. The stretch is where real intimacy grows, even if it's messy. And for Anne and Aminatou, it becomes a moment of decision. They make that decision by going to therapy, not separately, but together. This is a radical act. Most people go to therapy for marriages or family issues, but these two friends recognize that their bond is worth professional help. In therapy, they confront how race, class, and communication styles have shaped their dynamic. Anne, who is white, begins to better understand how racial microaggressions have burdened their relationship. Aminatou, who is black and often expected to carry the emotional weight, feels seen. It's painful work, but it brings them closer. One of the book's quiet revelations is how easily friendship is taken for granted. There are no anniversaries, no legal contracts, no rituals to mark its milestones. So Anne and Aminata create their own. They text affirmations to each other. They build routines for checking in. They talk explicitly about what they need, something few people are taught to do in friendships. These rituals don't erase the tension, but they provide a structure for ongoing care. As they look back on their friendship, they acknowledge the periods of disappointment and drift. But they also remember the joy, the vacations, the sleepovers, the inside jokes, the steady presence in times of loss. It's not a highlight reel, it's a timeline of accumulated effort. They show that friendship is built not just in big moments but in the sustained, mundane acts of loyalty and showing up. What makes the book so unusual is its vulnerability. Neither author tries to appear perfect. They admit to being avoidant, jealous, needy, selfish. And in doing so, they show the reader that friendship isn't about being flawless, it's about being willing to repair. Their honesty gives permission for readers to examine their own friendships with curiosity rather than guilt. They also widen the lens beyond their own story. They speak with researchers, sociologists, and therapists about how people form and sustain close friendships. The science is clear. People with strong social ties live longer, recover faster from illness, and experience less stress. Friendship, quite literally, saves lives. And yet, it is often overlooked as a health intervention or a life goal. In the end, the book circles back to the spa, to the image of two women doing the hard, quiet work of rebuilding. It's not dramatic. It's not Instagram-worthy. But it's deeply human. They're still choosing each other. That's the whole point of a big friendship. It's not about avoiding conflict but staying connected through it. Big friendship is a manifesto, a memoir, and a manual. It asks us to consider our closest relationships not as conveniences or background noise, but as central to our well-being. It urges us to stop romanticizing ease and start celebrating the difficult, beautiful labor of staying close. And above all, it insists that friendship is not secondary, it is essential.